Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this awesome TARDIS house from the show Doctor Who. If you enjoy this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button as it really helps the channel out and it helps the channel grow. I'd really appreciate it. If you make it all the way to the end, please share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. And if you want to check out the inside, trust me, it's a lot bigger on the inside, then please make it to the end of the video and that's where you'll be able to see what I've done with the place. But without any further ado, let's get this tutorial started. Okay, so before we begin building, to help you better plan out the build, here is a list of materials that you are going to be needing. Please make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well. Not only that, to make the build you are going to need an 11 block by an 11 block area on the ground. Feel free to make this grid if it will help you. Pause the video if you have to, make sure that you have all of those things sorted out, and once you do, we can begin. So to start things off, if you have made this grid in your world, you want to come down to the front bottom left hand corner. You then want to move inwards diagonally by 2. 1, 2. This is the starting position. Place a blue concrete. Move right of it by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move backwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left by 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then draw a straight line connecting back to the start. Then place an additional row of blue concrete directly on top of everything that you have just made. I then want you to extend any one of the corners upwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Extend the 12th block across to the right. The goal is to extend it across and then extend down to create this shape right here. And then once you've done that once, you can go all the way around the TARDIS and you can extend the corners across and down. Eventually you will end up with this shape. But what you also want to do is you want to cut the areas in half directly up the middle. So on every single side I want you to equally divide it vertically like this. There we go, just like that. Now, once you have done that, we have to add a little more detail. So, starting on any side, we have to divide the areas individually horizontally. So, we want to equally divide them. So, we've got to leave, starting from the bottom here, you leave a gap of 2, and then place a blue concrete. Gap of 2, blue concrete, gap of 2, blue concrete, like this, notching up the side. You can then extend across and throughout the entire build, and you will eventually end up with this waffle shape made out of blue concrete. And that is exactly what we want to have. These divide all of the panels on the side of the TARDIS, aka like an old-fashioned police box, and we will also then be able to place windows and fill in the panels and all of the good stuff that makes the TARDIS the TARDIS. There we go. So now that you have done this, the next step is for us to fill in the top panels using glass pane. I'm going with white stained glass pane. The top panels specifically have to be white stained glass pane. only the top. There we go. Next, we have to make it so that all of the other panels, very much like a waffle shape or kind of like a bar of chocolate really, the lower part of the TARDIS, we want to fill in all of these squares using cyan concrete like this. So from the outside it will look like that, and of course on the inside there is a lot more, it will look a lot chunkier. This is kind of a time-consuming process, and it's a little bit cramped in here as well. So just make sure that you take your time and you make sure that you actually cover up all of the gaps. Sometimes it can be a little tricky actually as to whether or not you have managed to fill all of the gaps in, but it shouldn't take too long, but it can be a little bit fiddly as we do this. So once you have filled in all of the sides, and do just take a moment to make sure all of those have been filled in, you should have a top row that is all completely white stained glass pane, and all of the rest of it should indeed be cyan concrete. Next, we have to reinforce the TARDIS. So we want to use blue concrete, and we want to place, coming out of each one of the four corners, a row of blue concrete that comes out the corner diagonally and extends upwards by one like this over the top of the TARDIS. And we want to do this on each one of the four corners. You can even connect it all together as well, by the way, up at the top if you like. So you can extend it across and down each one of the four corners like this, and we will eventually end up with something that looks a tad bit more reinforced like that. What we then want to do is extend up the corners even more. We want to extend them up by 2 and also connect them all together. So we are creating a small 1 block gap above each one of the 4 top sides of the TARDIS, like this, using our blue concrete. We then want to fill those gaps in using black concrete. On most sides, or perhaps it's even just one, I can't picture it in my head right now, you would usually have writing such as like police box, but unfortunately we don't have enough room for that, and the build would have to be massive to actually be able to write it. Once you've done that, we now want to place a row of blue concrete coming around the top of the TARDIS, like this, extending outwards. And not only around the top, on top as well. So you want to take that top row of blue concrete and you want to extend it out and also upwards as well. We're then going to place an additional row of blue concrete above and inside of the top row of blue that we just created. And the fun thing about this one as well is that we can even fill it in as well. So you can fill this top layer in using your blue concrete. There we are. I want you to locate the very middle of the TARDIS at the top. It shouldn't be too tricky really. I want you to place a random block in the middle. I then want you to place white stained glass pane completely surrounding the random block. Place another random block on top, and then again, you might find it easier to place the block, but you just want to place glass all the way around it. You can either fill the middle of this in with something that lights up, such as a sea lantern or something like that. I might try that myself, actually. I didn't do it on the original, but hey, we might be able to do it now. I know I didn't include sea lanterns in the list, but it might make it look a little bit better. That's up to you to decide. But the point of placing those blocks was to make the glass easier to place. We then want to place blue concrete directly on top of the glass and extend the middle block upwards by 1. I do actually kind of like the sea lanterns. They do improve the build a little bit. I'd highly recommend them. You don't have to. Completely up to you, but I would recommend them. Okay, next, I then want you to place blue concrete in between all of the gaps at the base of the TARDIS. Like this. Blue concrete in between all of the gaps. I then want you to place blue concrete around the row that you just placed. So you are completely surrounding the base of the TARDIS using blue concrete like that. That is not a bad looking TARDIS, lacking a couple of details, very few minor ones. But the only unfortunate part about the TARDIS looking like this is that we do not have an entrance yet. And we haven't chose a front. So, the front of my TARDIS is going to be, shall we have it on the side that I placed the 11? This side. This is the front of my TARDIS. I want you to choose a front as well. On the front of your TARDIS, I want you to find the middle, and I want you to destroy 2 blue concrete blocks in the middle. You place an oak door, place blue concrete surrounding the oak door, and make sure it connects back into the TARDIS itself. Clear a little bit of an area around the door. Consider replacing the blocks in the ground with either like blue or cyan or white or something like that to highlight the entrance. And on the front as well, we do have a couple of details to add. Specifically here, add an oak fence. Here, add an oak fence. Right there. In this left panel of cyan, add 2 white banners. In the right panel of cyan, you want to add upside down, back-to-back quartz stairs, and regular back-to-back quartz stairs like this. And that will give you an excellent looking TARDIS house. Before we close out this video, I did promise that I'd show you the inside. So why don't we flip back over to the original version of the TARDIS and I can show you what I did to the inside and let's see if you like it. So here we are at the original TARDIS. Come on in. So I haven't decorated it to look like the actual TARDIS from the show. This is kind of more of a survival house, if anything. As we reach in the entrance, you'll notice that we have plenty of storage and furnishing spaces. It's quite nicely decorated with some paintings, some item frames, some light. We even have, as we climb up this ladder here, we even have a little bit of greenery. But as you do climb up into the top of the base, this is where most of the living space is. We have enough room for a bed, some crafting tables, we can keep our armor here, a little bit of a brewing stand area as well. And as we move up into the very top of the TARDIS, we have an enchanting area right in the very top. It's actually quite surprisingly big on the inside. It's bigger on the inside. I think that that's the best way to describe it. And I just thought that you guys might want a little sneak peek. If you wanted to add some Easter eggs from the show, you absolutely could, like sonic screwdrivers and stuff. Try your best to try and emulate them in some sort of way. Maybe leave some of little Easter eggs hanging around. But yeah, guys, that's how I've decorated the inside, and I hope that you have enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you very, very much. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you have made it all the way to the end, aka you're listening to me speak right now, please share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. And if you want to see any more cartoon or TV series or movie related builds, check out the card system and the description below for all of that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.